Come on, I hold your hand.
I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain.
Take your time and say it. That's all right.
I must hold
on,
to God.
Yes, sir.
His powerful hand.
Oh, yeah.
I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain.
That's all right, child. Yes, sir.
I'm doing my best to make it in.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. I'm coming up, Lord.
Oh yes,
I'm coming up, Lord. Yeah.
Jesus.
Although my burden sometimes it press me down, Lord. But if I can only keep the faith, I have strength just to run this race. Oh, I'm looking for my starry crown. Oh, hallelujah. I want to hear you say it.
I'm coming up,
Jesus.
on the rough side of the mountain.
That's all right, children.
I must hold to God.
Hold on.
His powerful hand.
Yeah.
I'm coming
Coming up, Jesus.
on the rough side of the mountain.
Yes, Lord.
I'm doing my best to make it in.
You know what, children? This old race
It's okay.
will soon be over. Hallelujah.
Yes, it will.
Oh, if there be no more race for me to run, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. But I got to stand before God's throne.
Yes, sir.
All my heartaches will be gone. Oh, I hear my Savior say, welcome home. Hallelujah.
I'm coming up
Jesus.
on the rough side.
Hello, Quincy.
Hi, Omar.
How you doing?
Doing good. A little lonely.
Why is that?
Just a little lonely.
Just a little lower?
Just a little bit.
Hey, sometimes people got stuff to do. Something came up, you know?
I guess just means more leg room for me.
Wow. You're not that tall.
Alright, start.
Alrighty then. I'm Omar Sanchez.
And I'm Quincy Tejada. It's your turn, Omar. And we are...
Oh, I gotta say it.
Start over. You are...
Me llamo Omar Sanchez.
Y yo me llamo Quincy Tejada.
Y los otros somos...
Jóvenes en Acción.
Quincy, you're by yourself and you still messed that up.
I don't know. I felt that was pretty good.
You felt it was pretty good?
I felt pretty good. So yeah. My week so far... Oh, this morning I came across this one serious issue. Where it was crazy issue. I woke up in the morning, right? And I looked next to me, and I saw the thing and it was completely broken. And like my ingenious, like the wisdom that God gave me, just like help me fix this thing. And I thought I was so special. Last night, I broke my glasses while I was sleeping, and I fixed them this morning, and now they're perfectly fine. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I broke my glasses last night and I fixed them.
And how you broke them?
I was sleeping last night and I guess I like broke the leg off somehow, and
So you forgot that you had the glasses on.
no, I was sleeping right next to them. I put them right next to me when I fell asleep. I woke up in the morning, the leg was off. But my ingenious helped me. Yeah, that's why you gotta be smart. You gotta know what you're doing. And yeah, that's probably the most interesting part of my week. Everything else was not that fun.
I mean, I know you moved into the new house. Is everything done?
Oh,
Everything
right.
put in place?
No, in place? No. I mean, we've been washing all week, but it's going good. And then there's no signs of other guests in the house.
Unwelcome guest.
No unwelcome guests. I love my room. My room is like the same size as the top floor downstairs. And then I have that, and then there's a small bed where a friend of my dad's, I guess, Eduardo, sleeps. But the rest is awesome. And I got my own secret exit and everything.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
So when you having the welcome party to your brand new mansion?
You're not invited. Sorry.
Oh.
It's coming soon. Thanks for asking.
So do you have anything coming up this week?
Do I have anything coming? Do I have anything coming this week? No. I finished PSATs. Nothing school related. Am I missing something? Wednesday is gonna be really good for me. Oh, it's Wednesday or last week for our class?
I think it's this week, yeah.
Yeah, guess Wednesday, yeah, I finished my first 6 weeks of Escuela Biblica, and I finished my first class of, the topic of the class was Un Libro Siempre Nuevo, which we basically talk about the Bible, like where it comes from, who wrote it, and just a bunch of facts about the Bible. But coming up, Tuesday, I have to preach for 5 minutes or so, because I didn't do it last week because I forgot my paper.
Yep. He forgot to bring his paper.
I found my
Such
paper.
a loser.
I found my paper, so as long as I don't have to speak Spanish, I think I got it. And yeah. And I don't think I have anything else coming up.
No?
You're busy. You got something coming up.
I think this is so far my last event that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got no more phone calls or anything else. Yeah, I have one more event to go play at. Rehearsing for that. And then after that, I'm pretty much
Wanna
open
take
to
a
do
breather?
anything else.
Take a breather.
Yes.
It was like
Actually,
how
not
many
really,
months?
because now I have, since my music stuff is done, now I can focus more with the holiness, even though my focus never left the holiness, but now I got more time to focus with the holiness of the church.
How many months was it of just straight up playing every other week or so? It was a lot.
4 months? 4 or 5 months?
A lot of months just straight up playing.
Playing and practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was all good. Thanks to God.
I mean, it's good experience for you, though.
Yeah. Learned a lot of stuff on the way.
And there's still more to learn. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
We just finished doing, like, the Caballeros, the district Caballeros. They had a jubileo this past Saturday. Well, this Saturday that just passed. That's
Good
a,
shit.
supposed to
Yeah,
the same
that's
thing. Anyways, and we was practicing for that, and at the end of it, during the big day, all the Caballeros, they sung great. The musicians were on point. You know, I messed up in one point. I really did mess up. But I don't think people noticed it. Even I didn't notice it until I listened. I was like, oh, I got, you know how sometimes when you're playing, you like, all of a sudden your mind drift off sometimes?
Yeah, yes.
Because what you're doing is so routine. It's just like, alright.
That pissed me off.
So, let me ask you this. I know in the institute they give us homework.
Yeah.
Now, did you like the homework?
It was a cool experience. It was a good way to understand what others think, because our homework for people, obviously you guys don't know, we had to interview 2 people and we had to ask them 5 questions. From, if I can recall from my memory, is have you gone to church? When was the last time you went to church? Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not there in church? And when do you plan on coming back? And another question, I forgot, but you get the main idea. And it was a good insight on how, because I interviewed 2 friends, how my friends who are around me think of God, and it was a cool insight. It was good to understand why others decide not to go to church, and just like what's the main basis around them. For example, I have a friend, Gohan Kim, is a Vietnamese kid. He not sure, but he doesn't go to church. He says he doesn't want to go, but he would go if I invited him. So I plan on bringing him, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. He's probably gonna come. And Gohan, he's cool with anything pretty much, but he's not really sure about church. He doesn't understand why he needs it. And then I have on the other side, I have a friend named Robert, and he, nope, no God for him. Nope. You tell God, nope. Don't exist. You will deny. He's not afraid of it. That's what I like about him too. He's not afraid to deny it. To a Christian, no, God's not real. He says no. He doesn't believe in God because his parents, I guess, they forced him to go to church when he was younger or something like that. And so he decides like no church. So yeah, it's a cool experience to know stuff like that.
It's crazy when you really start thinking about it. It's like, since we're used to being around people who are always Christian and always this, we don't really think about it until we start asking questions to, like, when I was at work, I'll listen to, I asked them before I was in the institute, I asked them, I was like, oh, do you guys believe in God? Some of them would tell me yes, but I would truly believe him when I see a miracle happen in front of me.
That was Thomas, I think, who said stuff like that. He said he won't believe that Christ died until he saw it.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? Don't you see every miracle that you wake up in the morning? Every day you have another day to live. It's like,
not enough for them, I guess.
you know, and then sometimes people have cancers and magically the cancer is gone and never comes back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hello, there goes all the miracles you were asking for. It'll happen right in front of their faces, like an accident will happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll come out unscarred, and they were like, "Oh, I wonder how I was very lucky." It was like, no, it's because God was protecting you, and since you told him that you wanted to see a miracle, He's showing you the miracle right there.
God's knocking, and they don't even know. It's crazy.
You know, and that's the funny part. It's just regardless, they're not gonna accept it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But they should really start thinking about their lives and where it's heading. You know.
Yeah, because plenty of times when other people were saying, "Do you believe in God?" and stuff like that, I think I was the only person who had 2 people who said no. 1 person that said no. Everybody else, which is like 11 people times 2, 22 other people said yes. They believe in God, but none of them went to church. That's a lot, you know. They believe in. I know other kids who believe in God, but they don't go to church because they don't believe in church. I don't really understand that. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how people believe in God, they just don't go to church.
They're like, we believe in him, but we're just not gonna follow him.
Too lazy, I guess. Too much work for them.
And there's nothing. People think once you go Christian, everything's supposed to get easier. Everything's supposed to get no. The enemy is there to tempt you to do a lot of things, and it's your job to say no to the temptations.
The closer you are to God, the closer Satan wants to get to you. That's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta understand that. Yeah, things are gonna get harder, but what you have behind you is stronger than what you had before when you were in the world. Now you have God on your side, and you're not just wandering blindly throughout your problems. You know.
It's like some people, and it's crazy that I didn't realize this, but there's some churches that don't look at the Old Testament.
Yeah, I found that out. They don't look at the Old Testament.
I was like, what? They don't look at the Old Testament? They're like, yeah, because they don't. What was it? What you heard?
They don't. Something about. I've heard it before. Part of it was ofrendas. They don't believe in ofrendas, and there's another part that she said. I forgot what it was. I don't recall. But what I find weird is that when Jesus came to the earth, in the New Testament, it says, the man asked, "Did you come to destroy the Old Testament?" Something around there. And Jesus says, "No, I came to what's the
Reinsure
word
it?
for it? Yeah, I came to ensure it." So I find that weird that they believe in the New Testament, not the Old Testament, when Jesus said himself that he's here to like reestablish the Old Testament.
And I guess it's because they can't believe how God let all the stuff that happened.
Because they say that God killed people. That they don't believe that God killed millions of people and stuff like that.
It had to happen. There's a reason why, even if you don't understand it, because we can never put ourselves in God's shoes.
Mm.
God is a almighty being that's way above us. His way of thinking, his knowledge, is completely different from us. You know, so there's no way we could judge him, and we're not even supposed to judge him. We're supposed to just accept the consequences that are related. Because if you think about it, when he did kill all those people, what was the reasoning? Like when he threw all those babies, and like when they got rid of all the babies.
They were genetically sinned. They had sin in them, and then God multiple times when he cursed people, he usually cursed generation after generation to generation. That's part of the curse. You know, the kids are the next generation. They're genetically sinned.
Yep. And one way to do it is just get rid of the. Very harsh.
Yeah,
Very
it sounds
harsh.
terrible, but it's the hard truth.
You know, but at the same time, those kids were cursed to have those sins. But now, if you really think about it, they didn't get a chance to sin.
They were going to do it.
So automatically, those kids went to heaven
Mm-hmm.
because they never really did an act against God
all
or
kids are
sin.
innocent.
So automatically, of course, they're gonna go to heaven. So either way, he gave them an easy way out. If you think about it,
Yeah, pretty much.
but it's like when you just think about it and the reasoning what some people have. Like when I did my two people, one of them was because of college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's where they at. They're like in the woods, so it's hard for her to find a church nearby that's Pentecostal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because sometimes people don't want to go to any other church because sometimes what they say and what they do doesn't contradicts what we say and what we do. So they can't find one, and also she doesn't have a ride. No car, nothing, and some churches that are small, they're not going to go and pick you up. And then another person was like, they can't stand, and I understand it, because they can't, how can you be a Christian and be such a hypocrite?
Yeah.
It's harder for someone to accept a Christian being a hypocrite than a person in the world, because they know the people in the world.
Yeah.
There's people in the world, they just don't care. But when you're a Christian, you have the mindset of being better, of being more spiritual, of being more with God. But yet you're still not growing in the spiritual, and you keep having the tendencies to be a hypocrite or to criticize or to blame or to pass judgment on people. And I understand that point, but then you as a person that's Christian also gotta think about it. I know all these people were saying these things. I know all this stuff is happening, but I have to be above all that.
Yeah, because the pastor says himself that you don't go to church for the other members, you go to church for God.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really got to get involved with you. I mean, obviously you should, but like if you're hypocrites, you don't have to get involved with them.
It's like you're here to save yourself and to help other people get saved, not to save them. You know, it's like you bring a horse to water. It either drinks or it don't. You can't force it to drink. I mean, if you do, it probably drown. So, you know, but those are the things that people will need to start understanding.
So that was a good homework. I liked it.
I liked the homework. It brought a lot of meanings, and for some people, it opens up a lot of eyes. And it's another good thing is because if they bring up a subject, you didn't know how to answer the subject during that, but now you do.
And those questions, just those questions themselves, they help save lives right there. Remember that woman that was crying about her son? Yeah, that he's coming to. I don't know if he's coming to church. He came to church. I don't know what happened, but that saved a life there. You know, that saves those actions. Just those 5 simple questions saved a life, and that's important.
And that's the whole premise of the question is it's not just to bring it up with the homework assignment, but when you meet new people, you could ask them the same questions, and that brings up a whole new topic, brings up a whole new conversations, and for you to help out that person accept what needs to be accepted, which is Jesus Christ. It,
Woo.
you okay there?
It felt different.
Felt different?
Like it cut my throat or something. I don't know.
Well,
You went to the topic? Are we doing the topic or not?
no.
It's next week?
Next week.
Alright, we're doing it next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the only homework that I thought I actually had fun with, because school homework is boring. Those questions were like, you know, it was super easy to do. All you had to do was talk to a friend. And like, the answers were something that I expected, but like, it's cool to know what's going on with the people around you. And I didn't just ask those two people, I asked other people. And I took like the two people who talked the most, and I put them on paper. But I asked other people, and most of them, wow, that was a voice crack there too. Most of them said no as well. I don't know. The adults, I imagine they asked the adults, and they all said yes. I asked the youth, 14, 15, 16, they all said no.
Well, we're in a different era now where everything's more stream.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you mostly always see? The more artists, the more, TVs, the stuff that are being shown right now is completely different from how it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't get introduced to God at all, or even have ever stepped in foot into a church. And nowadays with I know there was always parties, but now it's even more easier because of social media.
Yeah. Who talked about social media? Is that in school or is that in church? Do you remember somebody talking in church about social media? I must have been in school. Never mind. There's something about it was in health class where they were talking about social media and how it affects other people, and that in social media, people who use social media are way more likely to do stuff that God doesn't like. They didn't say God, but they talking about way more likely to drink, way more likely to smoke, way more likely to do all these stuff. And I thought that was interesting because social media does have correlation with what people do.
I mean, if you think about it, smoking is going down, but now vaping is an all-time high.
I think 4 out of 5 people I know at least vape.
So that's another crazy thing is like now that they're seeing all these people do all these crazy tricks with the vaping and all this stuff, and they have so many different flavors and all this. It's like there's so much to it. But now since they have the easier it is to throw it to social media, the easier everybody sees it, and the faster the news get around faster than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone could get shot over there in California, and we'll know it as soon as it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as people go on Facebook Live or as they post it up and it starts going crazy, it goes viral. It's crazy how quickly the news could go. And if you look at it now, the news, sometimes it's just, all they ever talk about is negative.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I understand why, because that brings in the ratings.
Narrow.
That is true. Drama always creates rating. Well, this is all the time we got. I'm Omar Sanchez.
Quincy Tejada.
And we are
Youth in Action.
Yeah, there you go.
Spanish, I forgot.
Alright.
Bye.
Dame un nuevo corazón, dame un nuevo